Now, this is how we used to apply for jobs. Find a posting, read through it, manually tailor the resume, making sure you emphasize the right experience, write a cover letter from scratch, then save everything with the right file names, possibly track it in a spreadsheet. 45 minutes per job. If you wanted to apply to 20 different jobs, that's over 15 hours a week of your life doing the same thing over and over and over. Who has time? Now, you can just use automation, paste the job description into a Google Sheet. That's it. Wait 45 seconds. AI is going to read that job posting, analyze it against your resume, scores the match, see if it's a good fit. If it is, generate a tailored resume and a cover letter. Organizes everything into Google Drive with clickable links inside of that Google Sheet. 45 seconds, not a typo, that's not a misspeak. 45 seconds is all it takes. If you want to know how to do this, I'm gonna show you. So what you're gonna need to get started is an n8n account. You're also gonna need your Claude API key and then your Google account. Free Gmail, you don't need to have the business version. Your free Gmail works just fine. And that's how you're gonna actually connect to your Google Sheets, your Google Docs, and that Google Drive. So this Google Sheet here is mission control. It's got 12 columns, but I only gotta fill in 2 of these, which are the job URL and the job description column. So that's gonna be all that I need to input. Everything else here gets updated with the automation. It's gonna pull from that job description, the company, the role and title. If that job description has a contact email like the recruiter's email, that's gonna populate here. Then AI is gonna generate a match score based on the information that it pulled from that master resume and comparing it against that job description. And it's gonna give me a score of 1 to 10. And then it's gonna give me a reason on why it gave me that score with the match reasoning column. And then from there, we get a resume folder link. So there's going to be a Google Drive folder that's created with the name of that job. And within that folder, there's going to be the resume and the cover letter, and you get links for both. The status will be updated. If it's not a fit, it's going to update that column with low match. And then it's also a date added column just so you can keep track of when you sent these resumes on out. All right, so for this, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how this whole thing works, and then we're gonna go into actually breaking down what's happening. So we're gonna get a job URL and that job description. Jumped on this jobs tab. Look here, senior sales enablement instructional designer. Go ahead and just click this apply, which is gonna bring up the actual job list. I'm gonna go ahead and copy that URL. And then I'm gonna come over to my Google Sheet and paste that URL in. I'm gonna head back over to that job listing, copy all of the job information. Probably didn't need to get the pay information, but I got it, pulled it in there also. So now I've got the job URL and my job description here. And now that workflow that I showed you is ready to go. So I'll give you a quick tour kind of what each of these does. So again, first it's a trigger, which is based on that Google Sheet. So it's going to evaluate those rows that have not been analyzed yet. And node 2 here, or step 2 here, is a filter. This is going to check if I've already processed a job and make sure I'm not wasting money by rerunning this automation to jobs I've already applied to. So this can save you money in the long run. So part 2, this job analysis and scoring section here, what this does, it goes ahead and fetches your resume, the master resume, from the Google Docs, pulls that in, and then we have our first instance of our AI agent, and this is going to be Claude. So it takes that resume and compares that against the job description. It sees, is this a fit? It pulls information, it comes up with its score and its reasoning. And there is a router here that says if some conditions are met, meaning it's a 6 or above when it comes to a match, send it to the good match path. If it's a 5 score or below, send it to the low match. If it's a low match, it's just gonna update that sheet and say low match. It's not gonna do anything in terms of generating text. It will give you a reason why though. With the part 3, we then have 2 instances of AI agents. The first one is gonna take all of the information that we got from here, and it's gonna generate that personalized resume. Then it's going to generate that personalized cover letter. Then a Google Drive folder gets created, And inside of that Google Drive folder, resume document is created and then updated with copy. Same thing is going to be done for the cover letter. And then that information is going to be sent on out to the doc that we created. All right, you ready to see this in action? Let's go to it. I'm gonna go ahead and click execute workflow. So now if we go ahead and take a peek back on over at my Google Sheet, I see that my company has been updated, role and title, contact email not specified, match score is a 7. If I look in this match reasoning, I'm getting a breakdown of why this could be a fit. And I've got my resume folder link. If I give that a click, you see that that resume folder has the name and the role. If I go ahead and click on resume, I see my resume here. Of course, the copy, I would go ahead and update, excuse me, the text and, do a little bit of formatting here, but it's kicked it out. I've got my roles. It's broken those out nicely. This workflow took about 5-6 hours or so, and that's in debugging, that's testing, refining. That would then save me, if I was searching, 15 hours a week. That's a 250% return or something like that. Math off the top of my head ain't my greatest feature. If you're using the template, probably it'll take you 2 hours or so if you're following through step-by-steps. Again, already having this workflow up because it's just changing out the parts and pieces that you may need. Monthly cost, probably $10 to $15 if you're really hitting weekly trying to get these resumes in. That's saving you though 15 plus hours a month. It's a win. May not be necessarily perfect, but it gives you the foundation to get rolling with. I would definitely never just take AI output and run with it. I would go in and tweak the things as needed and then send that on off. But again, 80% of the way to the finish line is a much better place to start in most cases. Now, I'm gonna be real. I know looking at this, if you've never seen any of this, I'm sure you're like, what the f are we talking about right now? 23 nodes, AI prompts, Google Drive APIs, AI agents, what is happening? But this is the thing. You don't have to build this all at once. First day, just get that trigger system put together. Second day, you come back, go ahead, get that job analysis set up. Third day, the good job match part set up. So if you want to build this here, what I've shown you, you're going to need a couple of things. First, the workflow, which is the JSON file. I've linked it in the description below. You'll download it, import it into n8n, and you're 80% of the way there. Second, the written tutorial. If you want to understand how every single node works, I've written a complete step-by-step guide, and I'm also going to have that link in the description. Third, I'm working on a detailed video series where I'm actually going to go and build things from scratch, explaining every decision. If you want that, hit that subscribe button. It's going to be coming soon. We're living in a world where AI is insane. There is a lot that can be done, and we're at the stage now where anybody willing to take a couple of weekends learning n8n can get in on this. Something I also want to mention, when you're working through this, keep Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, one of those up with you. That's going to be super useful as you're going through these nodes and you're trying to understand what's going on, or you're running into roadblocks and find that, okay, I need to actually, try something different. Ask it questions. That's where those come in. You're not supposed to remember code because that's the whole point, is that it's low to no code. The parts where you are going to need that low code, reference the LLMs. They're going to help. With that, if you found this valuable, useful, go ahead, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, stay updated on the updates. I'm consistently trying to generate content around AI. If you have not, also sign up for the tech tips. That link will be in that description somewhere. Send out the weekly email, just giving you some updates on things that are going on. Sometimes it's a nice little grab bag of prompts. Sometimes it's me showing you a new tool. Sometimes it's me telling you about automation. Other times it's just giving you some encouragement to keep on going. But with that said, I am Ken Jones. I appreciate you watching this far. Any questions, concerns, comments, make sure to throw them in those comments and I'll get back to you. I'm out.